4 years ago, I got this cute, adorable, baby little lizard that fit in the palm of my hand. Sweet, happy, tiny. This animal wouldn't hurt a fly. But this little animal has turned into this animal. So we're gonna set her up in a brand new enclosure, tame her out, and make her the sweetie she once was. And then we're gonna try to put her outside in the sun, which, if you don't know, might end very, very poorly. She could be like this, or she could be like this. Mushu came home with me in September of 2021, almost 4 years ago. She was tiny, 1.5 feet long maybe, and we tried to set her up in a big, giant 8-foot enclosure right away. But she wasn't having it. She immediately went down to brumate. Brumating for reptiles is what hibernating is for things like bears. It's hibernation light. They get up a little bit to drink a little bit, move around, but mostly they stay buried in their substrate and you're not gonna see them for sometimes many, many months. So we put her in something smaller, a tiny front opening enclosure, maybe 50 gallons, when in comparison, the big enclosure I bought for her before I even got her in June of 2021 for almost $5,000 is almost 800 gallons. So a little bit of a demotion. And she did all right for a few days and then she went to sleep. And after months and months and months, finally Mushu woke up. But at this point, she was over a year old and she was still rather small. So we started feeding her things like crickets and roaches and trying to get her to beef up so that she could be the big Tegu that I wanted. I've always wanted a small dog-sized lizard, a lizard that I can take out and cuddle and pet on, and she's gonna make these cute little faces and I can maybe smooch on her. You shouldn't smooch on lizards, but I do. And she was calm. She ate off tongs, no problem. We could pick her up, no problem. And after a few months went by, it became October 2022, and I was just about to head out across the world to go to Bali, Indonesia, and Thailand and make some of these cool videos right here that you can watch.
Me and Bigfoot and king cobras have the exact same pheromones.
And she went back to bed. For months and months and months, she slept more, barely growing in her first year, and this made me very worried. And then eventually, April of 2023, she woke up again. This time a little bit bigger, and we could give her things like baby rats and mice and try to beef her up even more. And this time Mushu stayed awake for the entire winter. We bumped up her heat, bumped up her humidity, higher than any care guide would ever recommend, but it worked. And she grew. And eventually in April of 2024, she was big enough she needed an enclosure upgrade. So we made one, a 4x2x2 enclosure. And at the time, she looked small inside of this enclosure. And she grew and grew and grew all of last summer, and then in October, she went back to sleep. I took her out here and there to make a video or check on her, but eventually, last month in April of 2025, she awoke once again, this time bigger than ever. So it's time again to upgrade her enclosure. Now, an animal this size you could probably put in an 8-foot enclosure, which I recommend you doing. This animal, we tried an 8-foot enclosure and she started to, well, look like brumating again. So we're putting her in a 5-foot by 2-foot by 2-foot enclosure. My friends over at New Age Pet sent me one of these enclosures. You can get yours on Chewy right now for the craziest price. Seriously, I've never seen a PVC enclosure 5 feet long for a price like this. Plus, right now, if you go to the reptile section of today's deals on Chewy.com, just hit the link below, and you spend $100 across reptiles, dogs, cats, whatever, you're gonna get a $30 e-gift card just to say thanks for shopping at Chewy.com. Just use code CELEBRATE at checkout. So great time to get one, but that's what we're gonna put her in. I did set up a misting system, but I didn't put the misters on, so they're not connected. We're gonna try her manually misting at first, just to make sure she doesn't go down into brumation. So we took substrate and we mixed it all together, play sand and topsoil and coconut coir. A little bit of sphagnum moss to keep it light and to keep it fluffy. And instead of putting plants, we took rocks and leaves, cork bark, and natural elements like sticks and bricks, and made her a basic home where she had places to hide, places to feel secure, but also a big wide open space because, Again, this lizard is too big for this enclosure, but for this particular lizard, we decided a smaller enclosure is better for now. Keep in mind, we do have that 8-foot enclosure, which is still available for her, that we bought months before I actually got her, all set up, ready to go. For you Canadians out there who always ask me how to set things up, I bought the cage from Cornell's World. I paid full price. This is the invoice. Good enclosure. I would highly recommend it, but what I did is I bought the old school radiant heat panels, and Cornell's World recently sent me one of these ones, which are freaking amazing. They don't pop out. If you guys use radiant heat panels, you know the back end, there's no clip really. This one is drilled right into the heat panel. The heat panel is thinner, it's made of metal, it feels much more robust, much more professional. So there's no way a big snake or lizard is going to remove them. And that's the problem with Mushu is, while we were using a radiant heat panel, even when she was little, she would rip it out. All my snakes rip them out the back. Anyway, the point is, she has an enclosure ready to go for when she's ready. But she's not ready yet. And now that Mushu is all set up inside, let's see how she does in the spring sun. Is she gonna be placid, cool, and calm? Or is she gonna show that classic Tegu switch of personality when the UVB light that you and I can't see reacts with her eyes and makes everything look absolutely insane? Are you ready?
I'm ready. Aye, aye, Captain.
I can't hear you.
I said, aye, aye, Captain.
All right, let's see how it goes. Okay, bring her out. So this is her first time being outside ever, and we know that Tegu sometimes will be a little psychopathic, a little crazy when they go outside because the UVB looks so different.
Look at her little teethers. Oh, she's so cute.
See the little teethers? I think she's doing.
So good. I'm actually so surprised.
I was kind of thinking that she might get a little crazy and become a monster, but so far so good. And if she's like this, I might build her an enclosure outside.
Hi, teethers.
And for a little while, Mushu was an absolute peach. Placid, calm, so fun to interact with in the grass, getting down with her like she's a little puppy dog. But all of a sudden that UVB light caught up to her, she realized things were different, and then she wasn't. How do you feel that went?
Not terrible. She's a little crazy in the end, but...
All right, time to go in your new enclosure, I think. And now that she's inside of her enclosure, boy, does she look happy. She is almost full grown. I think she'll probably be smaller than a regular Tegu simply because, well, she didn't grow very well her first 2 years because she went into brumation. In fact, she's only stayed up 1 year. And there's big differences. I remember back in the day when my friend John at Professor Herp, don't you guys miss that channel? I know I do. He got a Tegu, his went to sleep right away, was so much smaller. We had another friend who got a Tegu at the same time, and in April, John's was tiny and our other friend's was much larger. So will this Tegu grow into the 5th and 6th year? I guess we're gonna find out. You'll have to hit the like and subscribe button so you can follow along with Mushu's journey. Should we make another update at the end of the year, putting her in the big enclosure? Let me know in the comments section below. As always, please hit like and subscribe. Videos early, discounts on merch, and all that for Patreon members. And because we do videos on Mondays and Thursdays, that means I'll see you in the next one.